Did it screw up the shot?
No. Well, something like that. I'm sure it's actually. Oh, it's full. It's just it's weirdly cropping because it's just.
Hey, I got pinged, which means we must be live.
Live chat. How do I participants? No.
What are you looking for?
I was just gonna make sure that it's actually live chat, not top chat.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Click the buttons again.
It didn't show it.
It didn't show?
It didn't show. Pop out chat, toggle timestamp.
All right, I guess it is what it is.
Maybe they've finally thrown that thing away because it was a useless option.
It was a piece of crap.
Welcome, everyone.
Speaking of pieces of crap, hey, we're here.
Yeah. We're running on like an old 11-year-old laptop. I mean,
so
no bigger piece of crap than
for
that.
those of you who are joining us for the first time, we are the Foally of Man.
Yes.
I am Robert, and with me is
Chris.
And notice how we just switched things up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Because we've switched up a lot of things here.
Yeah.
And I feel as though I'm adequately dressed for the occasion.
Yeah.
Yes.
I believe have a nice little picture.
I believe there's a certain formality to this as we reveal our new studio space.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to talk a little bit about the thing here?
I went to a con. I went to BronyCon.
I was going to say, you didn't go to a con. You went to the con.
I went to BronyCon. I got a giant blanket. It's a twin-sized, which is bigger than the usual like fanfare blankets you'll find. But this one lady had like a giant stand. And I was like, yes, please.
First comment, Oreo. Yep. Right on brand.
Yes.
Right on time and right on brand.
Yes.
So let's
Nabisco should be thanking us.
Interesting story. And this gets ever so slightly political. Just deal with me here for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny. I was talking to Randy, who does the sports show with me on our same channel, which if you like sports or you just like laughing at silly jokes, go check that out. That's the R&R podcast. Enough of that. But I was talking to him last night, and I said, you'll never believe this, because Chris went to BronyCon. And he said, well, that's a weird convention. And I said, what do you mean? He said, BronyCon? And I said, wait, BronyCon? You mean like a Bernie Sanders convention?
Look, what we've got to do is we got to go up to the people and inform them as to what they should be doing with their life. No refunds.
No refunds. What I said to him, I said, Randy, you cannot fucking believe there would ever actually be a BronyCon. It'd just be a bread line. But BronyCon kind of was LineCon.
It was very LineCon.
So we're here. It's been a couple months since we did the last episode of the Foally of Man. This is the Foally of Man. We review My Little Pony Fallout Equestria fan fiction. Chris is a Brony, and I'm sure as shit not.
He's very uncomfortable here with the ponies behind him and the ponies in front of him.
The stupid freaking thing is that I know more than a lot of Bronies do about this goddamn thing. But be that as it may, the stories are actually very well written. And so there is true, genuine enjoyment on my part. Mm-hmm. So that's the basis of the show. But since it's been a while, how about you tell us a little bit about some of your experiences with BronyCon?
Okay, so BronyCon was an interesting thing. It was very LineConish. That's because they had anticipated, I assume, something between 5,000 to 6,000 people. Last year, there were less than 5,000 people who attended, and because BronyCon operates in the black, that means that they didn't rent ahead for any more people. But they did announce that it was going to be the last one. Ergo, some people showed up. A lot of people showed up. 10,000 people showed up, and then they decided, well, maybe we actually should let in some more people, and then 11,000 people showed up. I have no idea how many people were actually going to try to go if the numbers were available. It could have been 15,000.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
There were a lot of people who were actually trying to get in, but they blocked off the internet sales and only allowed in-house tickets sales because they didn't want anybody who showed up to be stiffed.
Real quick, Last Place says Apple Bloom stares into your soul. This isn't Apple Bloom. It's easy to mistake. This is actually Catholicbloom.
Hence the rosary.
And this is Catholicbloom pre the 13 children, fillies and foals that she'll have. Fillies and colts. Foals is the generic term for
children.
Children. Okay, yeah. All right.
Girls and children.
Because there were no men in the series to begin with. And then they were like, oh, wait.
Well, you put one in there.
Oh, wait. You mean that big fat pony?
No. That would, Tumbler in a Ham Planet is a completely and totally different.
We got about less than 10 minutes in, and I've already made a Silence of the Lambs reference.
Oh, yeah.
Would you buck me? I'd buck me.
Anyway, for those that have been around here for a long time, they may remember that Catholicbloom was actually one of our set pieces early on.
And we've got a whole box of set pieces.
Yes, set pieces.
And this cup of cats has, oh no, that's precious. I was going to buy a Nuka-Cola Brown with that.
in before you knock over everything that's
Actually, a
on the table.
Nuka-Cola Red is probably more than one cup. Cap.
Yeah.
And it's not Nuka-Cola, it's Sparkle Cola.
Now with the refreshing taste of radish.
Radish, which it's so funny. I don't think of radish as particularly refreshing. You know what's the funniest thing to me? Radishes have this weird fleshy taste. You ever pick up on that? There's like a weird underlying savoriness to them.
I can see it.
But it's not like...
I've always thought of it as more of a soily flavor, but yeah, I could definitely see
Yeah, but it's not like an enjoyable, like, umami savory. It's like, this is what I imagine people taste like. We probably should have a segment on this show. We should probably have a segment on this show at some point that's called, like, Is It Just Me? And talk about the weird idiosyncrasies that we have. Because there's a lot of them. That's a whole show into itself.
Anyway, BronyCon was fun. I met a lot of people there. I saw 2 people who actually recognized me and they called me out. I will have to look up their names now because I remember the first one, Skullbuster, and then the second one he kind of mumbled under his breath.
Well, while you're looking it up, you met Lauren Faust.
I did. I was in the line con for Lauren Faust.
Yeah, but you have a picture with her.
Yep.
And she signed your book.
Mm-hmm.
She signed your Fallout Equestria book.
Yep.
You know what I love, and I've just got to say this. My Little Pony, ostensibly, is not for grown men.
No.
Or grown women, in fairness. It's designed for children. And yet, BronyCon is abso-freaking-lutely a convention for the adult fans of My Little Pony, right?
Absolutely.
The 2 showrunners of the show were both there.
Yep.
They understand that it's a facet of the fandom, and rather than reject it...
Well, okay, so Lauren Faust hadn't actually showed up for a while because she was starting to get rather upset.
Well, she hasn't been a showrunner since, there's 6 or 7 seasons now? 6 seasons?
9, I think we're on
9 seasons. You told me she stopped being showrunner after season 2, right?
Correct.
That's 7 seasons without her.
Yeah, Skullbuster, I think, was the first one, and then Pig Lizard 3.
Pig Lizard 3. Well, so for Skullbuster and Pig Lizard 3, thank you for approaching Chris. That was a treat.
Yeah, it was exciting. No, I understand. And the thing is, like, the show has this weird dichotomy to it when it comes to handling the fans, where the people who actually are at I want to say on the ground, the animators and the actual storyboard artists and the actual people who are in the studio, they get it. And they try to make little asides and jokes. There wasn't the entire episode.
Sneak little things in. Like
Like
a pony sitting back with its arm up and leg crossed.
Yeah. I mean, something. Well, that was just the one time people exploded about it.
Wait a second. Derpy was an animation error.
Yeah, Derpy was originally an animation error. Everyone attached themselves to it. They decided to actually include the character into an episode, immediately withdrew how the character design worked and the voice that the character had because a whole bunch of people who don't like the idea of handicapped people, don't like the idea of looking at handicapped people, thought that it was gross and icky and complained to Hasbro.
Never mind that handicapped people exist and they should be represented.
Yeah, well, no, we can't represent them. We have to hide them in the corners where they belong.
Well, because the idea is that if you're representing them, then obviously you're taking advantage of them. Which kind of reminds me of the stories of P.T. Barnum. Are you familiar with P.T. Barnum?
Yeah,
So
barely.
he existed in the first half of the 19th century. And he had his circus act and he had his freak show. But what a lot of people don't know is that they'll look back and say, well, he was taking advantage of those people and he was profiting off of them. But what they don't know is that he made each of them independently wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
And there were, like, Tiny Tim was a millionaire by the time he died, in a time when there were not a lot of millionaires. You're talking about millionaires were like captains of industry. But it was also a time when you could legally own people.
Yeah.
This was pre-Civil War.
Yeah.
So he literally owned people, and many of them, he gave them their money, their independence, and their freedom.
Yeah. There was a movie that came out in the early 20th century called Freaks, and it was about sideshow freaks. Yeah. And it actually had people who were deformed, people who had issues, and people who were probably from the circus. And there's a kind of weird duality to it. In one hand, you can kind of say, oh, well, they're being propped up as freaks. Like taking advantage of them or no, you're still propping them up as freaks of nature.
Sure.
But on the other hand, when have you seen in the past 30 years, 40 years, 50 years that an individual who actually had some kind of physical deformity was on the screen actually having a physical deformity, and it wasn't literally just an actor in makeup?
Yeah.
On the Derpy.
Well, think about the Elephant Man. That was John Hurt.
Yeah. The derpy thing was literally just people who have a problem seeing handicapped anything existing screeching about it because they have nothing better to do with their
Last
lives.
place says sweeping people under the rug is such a horrible policy, which I agree.
Yeah.
Humans are humans, and there's plenty of talented people that don't traditionally look what you. I mean, honestly, we've gotten so conditioned here for TV and film to have the prettiest of the prettiest people.
Oh yeah.
Which is why I kind of love directors who intentionally cast people who are normal, not pretty.
Yeah.
I've kind of been on a kick. I'm a film major, but I've actually finally been able to catch up on some movies lately, and it's been really nice. This is way off topic, but I actually got to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood last night, which we could do a whole 30 minutes on, but I want you to be able to, and that would be separate from the Foally Man. We just talk about that differently. Other things like I know we've been trying a lot of other stuff on the channel, and that's literally just for us to try stuff because it's opportunities for us to do other videos. I know y'all have noticed we have another great Brony show on the channel, just for a little bit of a different flavor. They're talking about a different book. Hopefully we can get through some more fan fictions doing that. Hopefully they can get on a regular schedule like we do and not have months in between
one
episodes.
thing as well is what I've talked to one of them about, and this might be the best way to go forward, being the fact that you have, I don't want to say you have a hang up on it because it's a completely understandable hang up, but you don't like hearing about pony sexuality. Reading Project Horizons, which does delve into it a few times, often in fact. And so I figure we can also do a crossover with them when it comes to that, with me and them, rather than you having to suffer through what would most likely make you an extraordinarily uncomfortable.
I'm just honest, man. It's an easy target.
Yeah.
Like when you're talking about fan fiction.
Well, I remember the scene from the original book where Apple Snack was fooling around with Applejack and
jerking off in the toilet.
Well, he was about to go relieve himself, jerk off in the toilet, and you, like in the audiobook, said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, please stop." Like you were about to lose it. And it's like, that's the edge of what I think you're comfortable dealing with. And I don't want your discomfort.
You make me out to be some sort of pony prude.
You are.
And honestly, the only pony prude in this show is Catholicbloom.
Well, she is kind of a prude.
Yeah.
Really into anal.
Well, that's how you keep your virginity.
Yeah. I'm not making a blanket statement about Catholic girls.
Poor Applebloom. Applebloom is one of the child characters of this show, you asshole.
She's been a child for what, 9 years now?
Yeah.
I think she's probably more towards the 18. What does that work for?
Well,
horses?
Bart Simpson has been 10 years old for 30 years.
Yeah. What's the actual like adult version of a horse? What's that age? It's like 3 years or something.
I don't know.
It's something ridiculously short.
Here you go, Toots. Go buy yourself something nice.
Okay. Anyway, so let's actually get into the
Did
chapter.
you meet anybody else at BronyCon?
Oh, yes. I met a whole bunch of people at BronyCon.
Would you actually like to talk about the goddamn tapestry that you have behind us here?
I said there's a lady who is in the vendor hall who's selling these great big twin-sized blankets, and I was like, yes, please.
I wonder if she actually did the art or if she stole someone's art and just
Well,
printed
no, they don't steal it. They do give a commission to the artists.
Okay, well, that's nice.
That's Seth Aru.
Allegedly.
Well, they better.
Yeah.
They really better.
Oh, yeah. We totally give commission to the artist. Good-jing.
Yeah, that's a great way to never be allowed back to a convention anywhere.
Yeah. So, in this, the topic of this show is a little book called Pink Eyes.
I guess.
Which was written by Mimezinga in the, 2015 Anno Domini, Year of Our Lord.
I want to say it was 2013, but
sure,
2015.
Something like because K-Cat did 2011, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this book can be yours for 3 easy installments of $39.99 each, shipping not included.
Each being all of you in the comments. One person could get it if all of you pay.
On that note, it seems really stupid to mention this when we haven't made an episode like this in 3 months. But for those of you who had a problem with Patreon and didn't like Patreon, totally understand that. We have a subscribe star. So if
there's only so many times that the leaders of Patreon can say, well, we're about to sink the ship.
We don't like it either. We just left it there because it's easier to have it there than to get rid of it completely.
It's like every month. It's like, oh, by the way, we're about to shut down and we're removing 4 features. the hell's wrong with you people?
Right. So anyways, we have a subscribe star. If you like the show, if you like our channel, you want to help us pay for the server costs and for the editing software, $1 a month really, really helps.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. We
$1
appreciate your support anyways, and we've experienced some fun growth this year with subscribers. I would love to reach 1,000 by the end of the year, but we'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So this week we are covering chapter 13. And I will give you the title of that chapter, Stormy Clouds.
And what's the subtext? Is this thing about I want to know?
What's the subtext? I want to know. Have you ever seen the rain?
Coming down.
And that's a little ominous considering what we get a sting of at the end of the chapter.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little taste.
Mm-hmm.
So Puppy Smiles, our protagonist, Pink Eyes, as it were, is kind of motoring along on her way. But that's not where we start the chapter. We actually start the chapter with Henrietta.
Mm-hmm.
And she is bartering with a band of Applejack's Rangers.
Yep.
Yeah. Apple Snack?
Applejack. Apple Snack is Steel Hooves. Applejack is the inspiration for their cause because,
Of course.
Apple Snack still loved her.
Yes. Because he's a snack with 2 C's. Damn, son, he thick.
He dummy snack.
That's a thick-ass horse.
He's so dummy snack that his ass cheeks slapped together. Which
He
how
gave
the
away his
alicorns could
position.
find him. He really loves that meme, and I don't know why, but
Blam.
so anyway.
That's actually what Apple Snack said as he went into the toilet. Blam. And boom goes the rocket-propelled grenade.
Yeah.
Wow. So Henry is bartering with, I don't remember their name. I don't know. It's in here somewhere. Names don't really matter. It's been like 3 months since we read this chapter. We did touch on it just to make sure we're up to speed.
Yeah.
But anyways, Apple Snack is bartering with the Brotherhood of Steel. No, Applejack's Rangers, not the Brotherhood of Steel, because they're the baddies. The baddies. And so, anyways, Apple Snack is not Apple Snack. Henrietta is trying to get some more ammo and some weapons, and the Applejack's Rangers are trying to get help.
Yeah.
Because they know that there's a fight coming up.
Yes.
And it's going to be bad. And she's a griffin, so she's a mercenary. That's like all griffins are mercenaries. Wow. Way to really pigeonhole a whole race into something. And I do mean pigeon. I do mean pigeon. That was intentional.
Just one epithet after another, man.
Yeah, freaking chickens.
Holy crap.
But yeah.
Turkeys, am I right? Henrietta the Jive.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry, I suppose I should say Celestia. Celestia's four main, I don't know, 4 hoof items. It's something.
Fetlocks.
Fetlocks, there you go.
Yeah, by
Celestia's Fetlocks.
You shall be avenged.
Moving on. Anyways, there's lots of this bullshit back and forth bartering, and they're like, I'll give you these melee weapons. She's like, I'm a gunslinger. I have no use for your melee weapons.
What am I going to do, drop it on them?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be that close to them.
Yeah.
Which is so different from the griffins we know from Fall at Equestria, because
Yeah.
one of them was very good at close quarters combat.
Well, you have to realize what your speciality is there. You have flight, and you can use it in multiple different ways. Whether you want to use the flight as a method to actually get range, so you can have the advantage, or whether you want to use it to close distance
and get good, son.
Yeah. The bladed wingtips from the train scene comes to mind when one of the slavers, the griffin, actually takes off the head of another one as he passes by. Quite visceral. But anyway.
Moving on. So they come to an accord, a parlay, as it were, and Henrietta gets some guns and will help fight.
Mm-hmm.
But then here's that a familiar character has made an appearance.
Yep.
You want to take over?
No, I'm good.
No. Okay. Cool. That means he didn't read the chapter again.
No, yeah, I read that.
Anyways, so Puppy Smiles is basically getting her ass lit up by Applejack's Rangers.
Yeah.
And just torn to shreds. And they're essentially told, call it off.
Yeah.
They realize what they're dealing with and that this is something that they don't understand. Maybe we should actually try and understand, because our bullets don't seem to be doing shit.
Yeah.
Not doing you any good.
No.
As it goes. And so move around, get around, and Puppy Smiles gets linked up with one of the head scribes of Applejack's Rangers. The funny thing that they have a note there is that all the Applejack's Rangers seem to think that this particular scribe is a spy for the Steel Rangers, or as I like to call them, the Brotherhood of Steel.
Because he's very secretive.
Very secretive, ugly.
Yes.
Mean.
And he keeps wanting to go back over to where the current Brotherhood of Steel
and has a bag full of monocles.
Yeah.
Who has that many monocles? Just have glasses.
I do know that Anthony Weiner of SMBC sells unlubricated single-use monocles.
Why unlubricate? Why would you
Because they come in
lubricate
the
them?
condom packs.
Oh God!
So it says.
I love the idea of somebody literally having like one monocle and another monocle, and going around with it instead of just having
bifocals.
A fucking pair of glasses. Jeez, Lou. Anyways, moving on. So they actually start analyzing Puppy Smiles and trying to figure out, hey, what the fuck is she?
Yeah.
And it turns out that what she is, or what they think she is, as they look at her healing talismans, it's like, well, the first healing talisman failed, 200 years ago. The thing never worked.
Yeah.
And they said the second healing talisman was just supposed to pump potions until it ran out of potions and then be done. But wait, there appears to be some kind of zebra hieroglyphs on this healing talisman.
Something about this is shifty as fuck.
Yeah, something, and they're like,
oh, come on now. Fluttershy, who was the leader of the project to keep the Phillies alive and all of that, the Ministry of Peace, she would never go to the zebras and start trading with them for things. That would never happen.
No, except for, I seem to remember a battle.
I feel like this
with Apple Snack.
A compound word, like there's a mega and then a spell, like mega spell. Do I have that right? I have that right, Fluttershy?
Yeah.
You goddamn traitor.
The
Celestia damn traitor.
The spell that brought, but I'm speaking specifically of the one that brought a whole battlefield of people back to life.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, what the, what's so funny is that when we meet
Apple Snack, fight the war all over again.
It's like, when we meet Apple Snack, he's literally bleeding out on the battlefield.
Yeah.
Bleeding out on the battlefield. And dies. He dies.
Yeah.
He dies twice in this story. Okay?
Yeah.
He dies twice.
3 times.
A lady?
Well, yes, but he dies 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah. He dies on the battlefield. He dies in Zebratown. Because remember, he says, this is where I died. Just more metaphorical dying than literal dying. And then he died. Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
But we're 13 episodes into the second book from this.
Start over from the beginning, guys. It's good.
It gets good.
It gets good.
Yeah.
Scrub.
Or don't read the books and just watch our show.
Yay!
Who wants 100 hours of something when you could just read a book?
Yeah.
I will say I think we do a pretty good job summarizing the book.
Yeah.
It's like the Spark Notes if you're drunk and half retarded.
Which we are.
Yeah. It's funny that I say Spark Notes because when we were kids, it wasn't called Spark Notes. It was called Cliff Notes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyways, yes. So the talisman is not designed to preserve life. It's designed to make it so that you can't die at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
You'll never die.
Nope.
And it's specifically bonded to Puppy Smile's heart.
Yeah.
Her half-rotted, impenetrable heart.
Yep.
And they know that it's impenetrable because there are several very high-caliber rounds that have clearly impacted the heart, floating around the heart.
Mm-hmm.
No damage.
Yep.
No damage. So is what they're implying that these are the equivalent of what Rarity did with her soul? It's a soul gem?
Soul jar.
Soul jar.
Yep, soul jar. They effectively bonded her soul to her body, thus preventing her from dying.
Which kind of implies that there may be others, like Puppy Smiles.
Well, they do explain that there were apparently others who survived that, but there was clearly something different with them, which is the reason that she happened along differently. So there's something there.
Yep. Yes, it was the a calamity of perfect events. See what I did there?
Yeah, we can point calamity.
People are like, is that the name of the guy?
Oh!
I guess you could really say that this was the Foally of Man. Bum, bum, bum.
Yep.
All right. Anyways, big-ass battle breaks out because guess what? the Steel Rangers are here, and they're mad as hell.
And they're not going to take it anymore.
Not going to take it anymore. And there's a lot of dying.
Mhm.
And, of course, Puppy Smiles is right in the middle of shit. And she doesn't know what's going on. And there's this, like, lone, young, what do you call
Paladin.
it? Paladin? Was it a Paladin?
It's not a knight.
Okay, I didn't think their rank was as high as Paladin. But maybe.
I'm trying to remember. I think it's recruit, because it may have been recruit. It's like recruit, Paladin, knight.
Sentinel?
A Sentinel that comes after. There's two knights. There's like knight and then like something knight. I don't remember the name.
Whatever. Yeah, so moving on. Anyways, one of them's like bleeding out. And Puppy Smiles is like, no, it's okay. You'll be fine. Everything will be great. And
you'll get over it. Come on.
Yeah.
I get over it all the time.
And then they're dead. And that's their last moment. Is this scary ass ghost telling them that, you know.
Yeah, they're like freaking out, but at the same time, their life is fading.
They're dying, yeah. But anyways, so Puppy Smile says, "Oh, Captain Andromeda will save the day," and she pulls out her space blaster.
The what is the name of it? It's the Z Finder. It's the not Achilles Z Finder.
Whatever.
Euclid's C Finder. That's it. Euclid's
it is
C
the
Finder.
orbital laser cannon, is what it is.
The Ponimedes.
Yeah, Ponimedes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like pew 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 pew, you know, just lighting up all these areas,
playing the game,
and then all of a sudden, Applejack's Rangers and the Steel Rangers, they suddenly realize, oh shit.
Yeah.
We have a lock on our position, and it's something huge.
Yeah, something has locked onto our position. We have some kind of alarm status that's going off.
And they're like, everybody get out! Both sides are like, get down!
And
get down!
She also notices Henry in the middle of the fray and tries to get her attention. But of course, Henry's not paying attention. So how does Puppy Smiles get Henry's attention?
Yeah.
By chucking a
rock at her head, yeah. And she's really good at chucking rocks.
She really is.
Really good at chucking rocks.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're all going to die. Come on, get to the chopper. Come on.
Yeah.
You got to go.
But they're also, the Steel Rangers are actually aimed at Puppy Smiles at their position, saying we're about to fire.
Of course, yeah.
Because some of them are like, no, this is a ploy. This is a ploy by the Applejack's Rangers to take our position. It's like, well, it is somewhat, but it's not something you can survive.
No.
You're screwed either way.
You're literally about to be glassed. I mean, you're just like, we haven't even really seen this thing.
We're about to raise the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And that's where the chapter ends. That's chapter 13. So, but you and I are really, you've already read the book, but we're just kind of surmising the amount of damage that it can do. Mm-hmm. But we already kind of understand that this thing was designed to wipe out battlefields.
Okay, storytelling techniques. The longer you display a weapon, there's only two occurrences. Either the weapon is God tier or it fails. That's the Chekhov's misfire. Now, this is not Chekhov's misfire because it failed the first time.
Yep.
Ergo, it has to work.
Wouldn't fail again, yep.
Yeah. So very clearly it's going to work, and because it's used multiple times, it's going to be God tier.
Of course.
Because that's how story writing works. Good story writing, especially.
It's just going to destroy everything. So tune in next time. Will our heroes survive? Well, there's like a shit ton more book. So
yeah,
I kind of think so. Mm-hmm. Well, not a shit ton more book, but we're slightly over halfway.
Yep.
So we shall see. But yeah, we'll have to see how Puppy Smiles fares. Now, Chris.
Robert.
We've reached a certain time of the show. But I fear
we have
ill-prepared and ill-equipped for my favorite segment of the show. And do you know what that segment is?
The Pony Pun of the Week.
The Pony Pun of the Week! Oh, delicious. And yet, like sugar-free candy, it's unsatisfying and unfulfilling because there is no Pony Pun of the Week this week.
That's what you think. I present to you the evil, the maniacal Count Clopula.
Oh no! Count Copula?
Clopula.
He should be Count Clopula. No, it's got to be Clop. It's got to be Clop. Count Van Pony.
The Van Pony.
Van Pony is a pony pun all over. That is delicious.
I think it was used in
Hold
the
on.
show.
Allow me to sup on the sweet, tender mercy that is that pony pun of the week.
That is absolutely upsetting.
That is
entirely upsetting. Never do that again.
I thought it was fulfilling and apropos because you talked about a van pony.
Mm-hmm. So yes, that was chapter 13. We do have more announcements, but if you think,
God, are we filing bankruptcy?
yes, yeah, organization which has never been for profit because it has no profit.
Yeah, you actually have to have profit to have, Oh. Yeah. We do still have some money sitting in the PayPal to pay for server stuff.
Yeah. Anyway,
not a lot.
That's not the point that I was making, though. We do have a few other announcements as well. First off, I have made a Discord server for our stuff. The link's in the description.
So instead of us having to always hang out on YouTube
and send you stuff,
and please do still comment on YouTube and share with your friends. But we've always talked about us trying to hang out together.
And organizing things, making announcements for events, and heads up about things.
So in the in the details, the description below, there's a nice little link that Chris put together here and a Discord server that he put together there. And is it open or is it like you have to request to join?
You can go into it. You'll be gated off first thing, and I have to let you in.
Do we want to make it so that they have to subscribe to the channel?
No.
Okay.
No, that would be gay.
That's homophobic.
Yeah. Fucking deal with it.
Whoa! I love that you just double down on that. You're like, yeah, it's gay. It's gay as shit. Now quit being queer and kiss me.
Stop being a faggot and get over here and take this cock.
I used to do that in college. I'd be like, quit being queer, hold my hand. Bro smooches.
That sounds like something Jerry would say.
No.
Don't be queer, hold my hand.
And don't be quit being such a homophobe. Kiss me.
Kevin would. Bobby's half brother would totally do that.
That's funny.
God.
Oh, it's good to be back.
Yep. So expect a more consistent schedule from us now that we actually have a space to work out of. It means that we can actually just really quick sit down, start,
and turn things on. I mean, I'm gonna take the camera back home with me.
Yeah.
But that's an easy thing to.
Yeah, it's just plug in, plug out. Now,
which is what we've wanted for so long. Because honestly, in my office, in my house, with our baby and all the crap that we have, setting up.
What office? It's not gonna be there for much longer.
Yeah, I know. It there's no announcements. It's not like we have another one on the way.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's more of a storage room is what I mean.
Yeah, I know. It just took forever. It just took forever to like set things up. And I know y'all are thinking like, well, it didn't look like much.
Yeah.
And it took forever for it to not look like much.
Yeah. It was usually there was so much stuff on the floor that we couldn't put chairs down kind of thing. Just boxes of stuff. It's just storage.
But that's not the problem here. We have a whole room dedicated to
the very echoey
quote unquote studio.
Very echoey room.
Yeah. Well, we'll get some of those.
This actually helps.
Tiles. Yeah, it really does. Yeah. Just hang a bunch of curtains everywhere.
Mm-hmm. So that was the Discord's one of the big things. So now we can actually get together. I'm trying to invite some people as well who have kind of worked with us before. The people who run Red Eye Airwaves, which is our sister show, you could say.
Spinoff.
Yeah. The other people who are here who are running, they're doing Murky Number 7. So if you like Murky Number 7, go ahead and read that. There are going to be spoilers for the story though. You may want to read it first.
I would say they are the Frasier to our Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's giving them too much credit. They're really more the Joey to our Friends.
This book is fucking huge. Look at this shit. It's gigantic.
They'll be doing it
I could make it to chapter 4 before I couldn't go any farther, but I will give it to Fuzzy. This is a tome.
Yeah. He was like, K-Cat's like, I wrote the longest My Little Pony fan fiction. He's like, hold my beer.
Yeah, God, it's just... And now, I've heard... Oh, no. You set it down too quick. You gotta be careful. You foam over.
Bastards. I hate it when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Pig Lizard says, I still haven't read Murky Number 7.
I actually have a few comments here. Let's see. Last place is about the fighting style for the Griffins. That getting close is a bit risky, but I imagine talons could be useful as long as they aren't wearing armor. Yes, hand-to-hand hand to hoof combat, claw to hoof combat.
Well, and if you have a Deathclaw gauntlet, it doesn't matter if they have armor.
Yeah.
Not a Deathclaw, a
Hellhound.
Hellhound. That's
Hellhound.
right.
Cranky Yeller. Fluttershy tried to make a no-win situation, but the zebra still found a way. That's scary. We covered this in Fall at Equestria near the end when it started coming down to it. And it's the idea of a mutually assured destruction should be a preventative measure. The problem is when you are so afraid of being destroyed that you are willing to destroy yourselves to destroy someone else. That's what the zebra chieftain was afraid of. Is he was afraid that Equestria would literally come in and like obliterate their entire culture and take everything from them, and so was willing to, like Saw, we're destroyed either way, but one way we can destroy Equestria in return, and that's what they did.
It's very Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah,
very Doctor Strangelove. The decisions of one, ruined everyone.
Yeah, well, it was the decisions of 6 that worked together because, and ultimately, this is kind of it's an ironic story, but it's one of the greatest morals. See, a lot of stories have these morals and truths in them. One of the greatest moral truths in Fall at Equestria is that each of the main 6, Fluttershy, Twilight, Applejack, Rainbow Dash, Rarity, Pinkie Pie, they're all working to come back together as friends. They're all wanting to end the war as quickly as possible so they can go back to hanging out as friends, rather than just hanging out as friends. So they've taken upon these roles and they keep pushing and pushing and creating greater and greater and greater devices.
And removing the strength of their magic and friendship.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's such a good book. It's such a goddamn good book. So yeah, no, that's an element to it. And so it's important to remember that because it tells us that if we focus our entire efforts on trying to do something without doing that thing, we're going to end up destroying ourselves.
Yeah. Hi, Moonblaze.
Yes. Let's see. The rock is her weapon of choice. Yes, it is. Rock of Destiny. Poseidon gun for the win. Yes. Pig Lizard says, I got in at the end of the stream. Yes, you did. Welcome. Last place says, so after done with ponies, are you going to review movies or something? We had talked about that previously, possibly reviewing the show, but it's like, there's not much.
I think there's also been question about, like, are we just going to review movies in general? And while you and I aren't opposed to that, it just feels like there's so much oversaturation on YouTube. I mean, honestly, Chris and I are very happy to share our opinions on pretty much anything other than politics because we don't want politics on the channel.
Yeah, one idea that somebody had mentioned was us reviewing movies and trying to actually be positive about it.
Yeah,
and which actually could be interesting.
I'd be a huge fan of taking movies that are much maligned that you and I love and talking about them.
Yeah,
I'm reminded of it constantly of things that I just adore, and that's even as a snooty film guy. That don't get the acclaim that they deserve.
Yeah. I mean, there's movies nowadays that still kind of pop up in popular culture or in comment sections as an example, but they don't really get the fanfare of larger films. The Secret of Meme being an interesting thing there. You'll see it popped up occasionally, but it's not something that really gets much fanfare.
I think a better example of something you and I were but what you and I were discussing last week is The Iron Giant.
Yeah.
I told you that as a child, that is a film that did not speak to me because it was speaking to an experience that I did not have. And it was very classically unsatisfying.
No, yeah.
It's a film that is supposed to, like, the bad guys win. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
There's some happiness at the end.
The bad guys are this nebulous human nature kind of thing. The only thing that drives Mansley is
the fear in all of us.
The fear. The
fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown and the fear of what could come.
And it was at a time where, again, speaking of mutually assured, I'm noticing a theme here that you love Cold War things.
Well, Cold War dominated American pop culture for the past. Yeah. I mean, they had stopped dominating culture when? It still dominates pop culture. We still talk about
Look
Cold
at who
War
we
scenarios.
Immediately blame when things go wrong.
China? Not that it's wrong.
No, not the real enemy.
Okay. So let's see. But yeah, we might do movies. We'll probably take a positive spin. So we'll even probably look at some bad films.
Pig Lizard said he met you at BronyCon.
Yep, I do remember. I mentioned your name.
Pig Lizard also said, "Are you guys only doing things with an audiobook version?"
That was previously a thing where Robert wanted to do an audiobook.
It's just easier. I wish there was an audiobook for this.
Because there's more time to dedicate to it.
I'm in the car like hours a day.
Yeah. And so it's easier to dedicate, but we have done physical copies, and physical copies you like.
Well, and we talked about doing this ages ago, but we haven't done it yet. Chris and I have permission and would like to do an audio version of Pink Eyes.
Yeah, an audiobook cover of it. So we'll see how that works out. We may do audiobook covers of more things. Just wait until we do the audiobook cover in Murky number 7, and by the end, our voices are completely and totally fucked.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're doing so many, and it wears us thin. But we'll see. We'll see how this works.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we do have the recording equipment to actually make very nice audio recordings, so that is nice. Let's see.
I'm already seeing something we can do next time.
Yeah.
We can put the laptop in front of us next time, so we're not looking to the side.
Ah, yeah. See, that's very nice. We're just experimenting a little bit with our new space. It is a big room, so.
And we're only using one key light, so.
Yeah.
Like, if we get all the lights we're supposed to have, it might actually look less jank.
Yes, because currently we're using natural lighting.
Because now it's mad stank.
Mad stank. And the longer we go on, the weirder the lighting becomes because we've calibrated it for a specific time of day, and the time of day always changes.
This is true.
This is why filming outdoors is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but man, that 5600K.
It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's the way to do it, especially like on a cloudy day, that bounce light.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, when I was looking for an interesting story, I was looking for bulbs for the other thing at a Lowe's or Home Depot hardware store. And the only bulb that they could have matched that would have worked is a high-pressure sodium, which is like 2600K. And it reflects only itself. It's streetlights. It's streetlights that looks like ass.
Pig Lizard says they will only listen to an audiobook if occasionally we go blam.
I'm sure. We'll see if we can. Well, because there are various points at which we could just insert an audio cue.
Sure.
And we could go a little fancy and try to do kind of radio play.
Really, the question is how legit do we want it to sound? Because we could just sit and do a live stream and just read the book, and that technically counts. But that's not very high quality.
No.
That's kind of like the lowest tech version way we could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I like if we're going to make something, it should be something nice that lasts.
Yeah.
That people enjoy listening to.
Yeah.
Because if it helps people get into the fandom, more power to them, right?
Yeah. Moonblade says, I'd love to help make a Murky number 7 audiobook if only I had an actual mic. Actually, surprisingly, Amazon could be your solution for that. I don't like going to Amazon for everything simply because...
I'll tell you what, the microphone on my gaming headset, which was $7 on Amazon, is a really great mic.
I think this, the rig setup that we have with the 2 microphones...
That came with the converter for the computer.
Came with
$45 per mic?
No, it was actually $35 per mic, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was $70 all told.
And these are great mics.
Yeah, so for about $35 to $40, you can get at least...
Did they come with the box for Phantom Power?
I believe they did.
Yeah, it's a bundle thing. We could post a link to what we bought in the description below. We'll do that later. We'll do that later. Not a big deal. We won't get any kickback from Amazon, but
no, we don't. We aren't. What is the term?
Partners? Amazon partners?
Yeah, something like that.
Remember to click the Amazon banner on our, that kind of crap.
Yeah. No affiliate links, which also means we don't have to report their affiliate links.
We cannot highlight enough. We don't make any money off of this.
No.
Like none. We don't, and that's the reason why we don't do ads.
Yep.
We think it's wrong because it's somebody else's intellectual property. That's why we always say, if you like what we do and you want to support us, that's why the Subscribe Star and the Patreon are there.
Yeah.
But by no means, we don't want anybody to ever feel like, well, you can't access our content if you don't give us money.
No, I mean, part of it is any dollar that you donated is when people say it goes into the show, what they really mean it goes into operating cost. For us, it doesn't even go into food.
Yeah.
Like it would literally be to pay for a Premiere subscription, hardware, and like set up stuff.
Well, and if you really wanted to run this like a business, we are so far in the red.
Yeah.
It would, But that's why we always say, like, if you like the show, literally $1 a month, that's $12 a year.
Just even spread it to people. Just tell people, hey, you might like this thing. You like Fallout Equestria, send it to them. You like videos about people making funny jokes with Oreo cookies, send it to them.
It's so funny is that I still get randos who'll be like, did you know this video's on another page? And it's like, yeah, I know. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't make the meme. I just read it.
Yeah.
I did it in a funny way to make my wife laugh. If millions of people think that's funny, that's really cool.
I mean, there's a few things you've done like that with the toenail clipper cooking.
Oh yeah, I love that.
How to cook a
Now, see, this
clipper.
is problem with your non-organic clippers. You know, your
Yeah.
non-GMO clippers. They take forever. Well, and that's why I kind of did the. Did you like the video I made while you were at BronyCon?
Oh yeah. Well, it was obviously a counterance to mine, which I made simply because to announce to people I was there.
Your video, which I love, is just such a quick throwaway. It's like, hey guys, I'm at BronyCon, come see me. And then I called you and I said, I have an idea. I would love to pretend to be super petty and super passive aggressive. Are you okay? And I gave you like the gist of what I was going to do. And all you said was, yeah, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it ended up being more popular.
It was a lot of fun.
Now, that being said, on that topic, it's too early to tell.
Oh, thank you, Pig Lizard.
Pig Lizard says, loves Robert's video. It's too early for us to actually say anything because we're going to have to figure out scheduling and God knows everything else. We might go to TrotCon in Columbus, Ohio, because what we'd be doing is we'd be going as the Foally of Man, and he would be having a big shirt that says "Not a Brony," of course.
Yeah, what I was envisioning is like that powder blue, like the logo. You have like TFOM on the back, and like have your name, Chris, my name, Robert, and it says like Chris, Brony, Robert, not a Brony.
Yeah. This is a team effort kind of thing.
Well, it'd be one, it would make us then identifiable, and then if anybody ever asks us a question, it's like, well, we actually have a YouTube show, check us out. If we really wanted to go legit, we could even make like little business cards with like.
Oh yeah, if we wanted to super legit, we put you in a fursuit. Wait, no, that's.
Oh whoa! A $30,000 My Little Pony fursuit.
I feel like I saw those at BronyCon.
Yeah, $30,000. Wrap your head around that. That's like.
I don't think they were 30,000, but God, could you imagine?
$30,000 would be like a pantomime horse, but the horse's face is like animated.
Yeah. There was somebody who went as the Tantibus, which was actually Tantibus. It was one of the episodes of the show where the two sisters, one was evil and was on the moon. You remember the Nightmare Moon thing?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, when she came back, she decided in secret to punish herself every night in her own dreams for her misactions. And so the story is kind of dealing with the fact that her internal punishment has leaked out into the psyche of the real world.
Yeah.
Quite good and an interesting perspective, and very more. I don't want to say adult tones, but definitely something that children wouldn't understand as much.
By the way, I just want to say, everyone I know thinks it is so cool that there were people who actually like recognized you.
Yeah.
At the convention. I know it was only just a handful of people, but that's really cool. And I think it speaks to how amazing this community is. The one thing I keep hearing from people is that they hear about My Little Pony and Bronies, and they're like, that's a sexual thing, right? And I keep having to defend Bronydom.
Yeah.
Because people don't understand.
Yeah. Yes, there are sexual elements to it, but
there's sexual elements to every
fandom
that without sexual elements.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen.
Rule 34. Come on, y'all.
There are people who sexualize Steven Universe out the ass, and is that not a children's show? Probably aimed at little girls, let's be honest.
Oh, no. Oh, womp womp.
Hey,
that's a real ass comment, man. That's a real ass comment. Why you gotta be so real?
Hello, Nawad. How's it going? I actually know that guy.
Would you read it?
He says, Nawad says, we have our own YouTube show. You can catch us live by throwing a dart at a calendar and praying to a god of luck. Somebody's bitter that we haven't updated lately.
Can that be our tagline?
Well played. Oh, don't worry
I love
about
it too, because today we had talked about like pre-recording this episode, and I said to Chris, I said, no, it's been a long time. Let's just hang out. Let's hang out with some of our friends and fans, And it's like, yeah, we'll just go live. We don't tell anybody we're going to do it. We don't do any posts to let people know it's going to happen.
We can't do posts because YouTube is ass.
I know, but like it's just noon on a Sunday. Here's the deal: if it's Sunday, you're far more likely to have a stream.
Yeah.
But the time is kind of a moving target.
Well, no, not only that, but it's been months since. Our last one, yes, I looked up when I was actually titling this. Our last Foally was March 19th.
Oh, my God.
It's been busy.
Pig Lizard says, well, he's not wrong.
No. Don't worry. I know why.
No, it's true. But guys, listen, and gals, and
Yeah,
Bronies,
it's
and Smizmars. Doesn't this I know the shot could be a little bit better, the set could be a little bit better, but this is so much more legit. Wasn't this worth the wait? Honestly. Over the summer.
House.
No, I know, but honestly, you had a house to buy. I've had a baby, and I've just been working my ass off.
Yeah.
Well,
I also switched positions in my job, and then got a house, and then no, it's been a nightmare. I literally was at BronyCon last weekend. So that's.
I mean, it's a poor excuse. If we'd made it more of a priority, it would have likely happened already.
And now we have more space, so we can do it more dedicated, and we're able to do multiple things a weekend.
Oh, you're always worth it. Oh. What was the thing that the people said to Keanu Reeves?
Oh gosh, you're asking me the wrong question.
It's like, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, or
I don't remember.
Anyways,
I know what you're talking about.
But E3 was 2 weeks ago, and we've already forgotten that meme.
BronyCon is so much more important than E3, and I say that because BronyCon was actually good while E3 was ass, and has been ass for the past 3 years. Hi, we're EA. We're going to sell you more mobile shit that if you don't buy, we're going to hunt you down and beat you over the head.
I'm probably going to pre-order Breath of the Wild, too.
Well, I know you are.
You still need to play Breath of the Wild.
It's okay. I'll get an emulator.
Chris is like, fuck my childhood. Anything that I enjoyed as a child, I'm not going to enjoy now.
Legend of Zelda's not my childhood. That's your childhood, not mine.
Okay. Well,
mine was Metroid Prime that they took and they drove into the fucking ground.
That's true. They have kind of scorched earth, that series.
And Pokemon, which has turned into...
You're breathtaking is what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Moonblaze. Thank you, Moonblaze. But yeah, it was and the game is breathtaking. And some guy in the crowd goes, you're breathtaking! And Canada's like, you're breathtaking!
No, the Pokemon games have just become a life preserver of a game series because all it literally is press start on the game and then get handed everything and told how to win.
I really hope that Sword and Shield is not that, but
it's also not going to include a lot of the Pokemon.
Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Well, in fairness, there's almost 1,000 of them.
Yeah,
I'm not as upset about that as some other fans are. I know people are like, but you gotta catch them all. Well, I don't want to catch 950 fucking Pokemon. I don't care. There's Pokemon I like to play with that no matter the generation, no matter if they're garbage, I like.
It's just they established a hard restriction, even though they had a method to actually do it, and the fact that
they were pretty lazy. The animation is pretty lazy.
Well,
but you're right about the hand-holding. I mean, Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee is literally designed for let me put it this way. It is designed for the children of the kids that grew up in the 90s so that daddy can play with their 3-year-old a game that they can actually play.
Yeah.
That's why it's so easy.
Awful.
No, it's a good game. It's just not
that aspect of it is awful. Sure. That is awful.
Every other video game series has grown up, or at least had an adult version.
Well, it's
a tougher version.
Well, no, it's just like the difficulty bar for red, blue, and yellow were set here, and it didn't bother the kids our age that was set there, and they've slowly lowered the bar, and it's like, well, it's just not going to be as engaging because there's no difficulty. Overcoming an obstacle feels good because of the obstacle, not because you're overcoming it. Let's see. A game and a show.
That's how you get pregnant.
Yeah.
Overcoming.
Yeah. I thought it was just coming regularly.
Word to the wise.
Yeah. A game and show where they force sapient animals to fight before they eat them. Yes, they did actually show. I know they showed an episode where they were eating the Magikarp, but that's also Magikarp. Yeah. It's worth nothing.
Until they evolve.
Yeah, but the thing is getting them to evolve is a pain in the ass.
Gyarados would be so much more interesting if it was a ultra rare occurrence for a Magikarp to evolve.
Oh yeah, imagine if every single level up there was a 10%, not even 10%, but a 1% chance of it happening. And so there's some times where you may never get one that actually levels up, and you have to keep grinding through Magikarp and throwing back.
But what you do is you make Gyarados so op.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the problems when it comes to these incremental installment. Not only games, but games being a thing. Shonen has the same problem. The boy-oriented kind of action anime, in that you constantly have to do this one-uppedness, and so each Pokemon game has to come out and one-up the old generation by making them worse. Kabutops has just been this nerfed decline. And it's like it should be, for what it is, a far more tremendously awful thing to fight.
It should be a water rock type. And
With the strengths of both and the weaknesses of either, that is just a terrifying menace.
Sure.
You can beat it. You can beat it with psychic or ghost, but pretty much everything else, it's just going to step on you and it's going to crush your skull.
it was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
I still will try and find a way to port it.
Yeah.
To get it.
Yeah.
That's the other thing they've introduced with Pokemon, to get way off topic, is that there's now a system like you have to like pay for a subscription service to be able to port your Pokemon around.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, that subscription service doesn't work with Sword and Shield, even though it could. Oh yeah, we're gonna fuck you in the ass that way too.
Well, doesn't work at all, or just doesn't work with Pokemon they don't have in Sword and Shield.
That.
Okay.
Actually, I don't remember either way, but it doesn't work.
I think it does work. It just won't port over Pokemon that don't exist in that world.
Or Fairy. We don't talk about Fairy.
Yeah. Fairy's a fine type. It was weird when it came around, but it made sense because you've had fairy-ish Pokemon from the beginning.
Well, the problem is, there's like several different like types, classes.
There's a lot of types that it makes sense what their weaknesses are.
Yeah.
But then there's other types that you're like, why is this quarter weak to that?
Yeah.
Why is this weak to bug? You know? What is weak to bug?
Yeah. At what point do I have to literally stick electrodes into my Pikachu's cheeks and force electricity into it before it can zap an Onix?
I love how they also royally fucked the bug legendary Pokemon.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, it's a bug legendary Pokemon, but it's really a bug with a suit of metal armor made by humans. Well, is it really a legendary then at that point? No, it's
Well,
not.
they keep going back and forth as to how the world works, where they want it to be this kind of general, everything kind of exists as their own creature thing, but then give very specific reasons for things, like obviously Cubone being, a crying child of a dead parent. Kind of.
Last place has to go. Adios. Have a good one. Nawat Crow says, Dark is weak to bug because of the rampant malaria in Africa. I probably shouldn't have read that one out loud.
Jesus Christ, man.
All we can do is go down from there. So, for Chris, I'm Robert. This has been, unbelievably, the Folly of Man. And we will see y'all next time.
Hopefully next week.
Yeah.
Woo!
No telling what it's going to be. Hey.
Boy.